Sarah Coombs.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this important debate. For millions of unpaid carers in West Brom and around the UK, life is hard enough. They are the backbone of our care system, and yet they are woefully under-supported and under-recognised. Taking care of someone is the most generous act of human kindness, but the former government repaid these acts of service with hostile interviews, demands for repayments, and fighting carers in the courts. I welcome this new government's independent review, which recognises the invaluable contribution that carers make and will investigate the overpayment of carers' allowance and how this was allowed to happen in the first place, and more importantly, how we can make sure it never happens again. I know myself what it's like to witness the care that one person can show to another, whether paid or unpaid care. My grandmother, my nanny as we called her, was looked after in the final years of her life in a care home. The team there provided tender care 24 hours a day, and they made life fun. My nanny was Irish, and even into her 90s was very partial to half a pint of Guinness, which the care home always provided her, and they always made St Patrick's Day good fun. And when she finally did pass away, the care didn't stop. When the cars went past the care home on the day of her funeral, all the staff were lined up outside with Irish flags to wave her goodbye. Aww. This Labour government is going to give paid and unpaid carers the recognition, the rights and the pay they deserve and create a sustainable national care service, and I'm very proud to be part of that. In my borough of Sandwell as a whole, the percentage of people providing over 20 hours of unpaid care a week is well above the national average. And for many people in my constituency, caring for their loved one is more than a full-time job. For those who are able to go to work, they find themselves having to restrict their hours they're on for fear that they'll inadvertently overstep the earnings limit. During the election, I met a woman in West Bromwich in exactly this situation. She worked as a cleaner in addition to caring for a family member. She was really struggling to make ends meet, but felt trapped for fear of the penalties she will incur if she went even a few pennies over the earnings limit. This motion, brought by the party opposite, is right to condemn the previous government for failing to address the scandal of repayments. Lots of carers were not even notified that they had exceeded the earnings threshold. For some, the allowance was stopped without warning, causing severe financial difficulties, and others will spend years repaying with the anxiety and stress that that brings with it. Can you imagine, on top of all the other responsibilities that unpaid carers take on for their loved ones, they have been made to feel like criminals? So, Madam Deputy Speaker, I support the government's intention to quickly get to the bottom of carers' allowance overpayments and consider how we provide support for unpaid carers, many of whom have been pushed to breaking point just for looking after the people they love.